Hello everyone, welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing an anime called Minami-Ke. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but whatever. So there are three main characters. I'm only talking to them because I'm going to be talking in sections of seasons because there are 4 seasons. And I want to talk to all 4 seasons at some point at the end of this video because there is something to say about every single season. So, here we go. So the main three characters are all sisters. You got the high school sister who is smart as hell, but you don't want to fuck with her because she will kick your ass, pretty much. And then you got the sister who goes to middle school, who she's a dumbass, but for some she wants to compete with everyone because the first impression is that she cheats all the damn time. Mainly due to the fact that she wants to get better grades than one of the boys that she's competing against, which the boy has a crush on her. But the thing is the funny thing is the fact that how do I put this in a way that you guys can understand? Every time she tries to cheat her way to win, but she still loses. Like for example, she gets to 47, and the middle school sister decides to change it to a 48, 47 to 87, which that's called cheating, but the guy got an 88, so she kind of loses that fucking fight on a test, no less, which is fucking hilarious. And then you got the elementary school sister. Now, she's really well grounded, but she also is very violent when she likes to throw teddy bears at her middle school sister because she thinks she's a stupid idiot. I'm not rephrasing that. She calls her a moron and an idiot all the damn time. So, yeah, so that's the main gist of things. Now, we're going to go into seasons because there's a lot to talk about. Now, when it comes to their friends, they all have groups of friends. However, the elementary school sister, the youngest sister, I'm going to call her the youngest sister, the second oldest, and the oldest sister. The youngest sister has her friends interact with the other two, her sisters the most. The high school sister does not have that much screen time, but when she does just like that. She's very conscious about a lot of stuff in the beginning of the season, but that's beside the point. Now, what do I think about the seasons? Well, the first season is pretty much Lucky Star on steroids, pretty much. Like, there's a freaking scene where the girl sees a rock fall off a truck. She starts kicking it for 3 fucking minutes. And then, all of a sudden, her second oldest sister decides to kick it back onto the truck because the truck was passing by, and she gets all sad because she named the rock, and then yeah, so it's just a bunch of nonsense. You don't know what the fuck you're going to do. It's like Lucky Star pretty much, but it's like on steroids because this is sub. There's no English dub, unlike Lucky Star who got dubbed. But the other thing I have a problem with season one is the fact that the side characters are just like fucking Pony Pony Dash. What do I mean by that? Well, in Pony Pony Dash, there's a bunch of main characters that actually look animated. However, when there's a bunch of classmates in the room, but they all look the same because of the fact that they're not important enough. So we decided to make them all look the same and all look like fucking robots. They do it differently here. The characters do have motions, and the characters that don't really matter and they're just there. They do have motions, but the problem is though is the fact that you can't see their faces and everything looks like a fucking human shadow, pretty much. That's all it is. It's just a human shadow, pretty much. So that's the problem with the first season. The first season is just complete nonsense. It's like Lucky Star and Pony Pony Dash when it comes to its side characters, and it's just like Lucky Star because you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get every single scene. It's just like a complete clusterfuck. Now season two. I have a major problem with season two. First off, let's start off with the season one thing. Season one has the last 3 episodes that introduce the youngest sister has a friend who has to dress up like a boy because that's what she wants to do. That's what she wants her to do when she comes to the house. So that's the main gist of that. But the only thing that she has 3 older brothers. So you might be thinking, oh, that's fine. And they get introduced at the very end of the first season. However, in the second season, they're nowhere to be seen. Same goes to the fucking uncle. And the uncle comes in the first episode. And then he comes and goes every now and again in the first season. But in the second season, he's nowhere in the second season as well. It makes no fucking sense. I wouldn't have a problem with it if I knew. The problem with them is the fact that if they didn't show up for the rest of the anime, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But for some reason, they come back in season 3 like nothing ever happened. Instead, we get two new characters, which they get pretty shafted in the later series. Well, I'll explain them. So you got two new characters in the second season. The second season has a nurse who does show up in the first half of the third season, and then she shows up in the last episode of the fourth season. But that's pretty much about it. She's gone pretty much the whole entire series. She doesn't. She just has like a few lines here and there. And then you got a new kid who moves in. It's their neighbors. He moves in and he has to move out by the end of the second at the end of the second season. Now, when it comes to the first and second season, the first season looks modern. Second season looks like it's back in the Stone Age. What do I mean by that? Well, first off, I would like to say this. They have a phone in the first season. They have like one of those phones, because this was made in 2008, 2009. So they still have like phones that, you have phones that are connected to your house and you have those cord things on there. However, in the second season, they decided to change the phone, what it looks, because now the phone, you know how you do this? Like, you hold down the number and you spin the dial just to phone call someone? That's their phone in the second season. And it baffles the fuck out of me, because in the third season, it changes right back to the phone that they had in the first season. Like, I noticed that. Also, the second season has, like, completely different vibes than the first, third, and fourth season. The first, fourth, and third season opening theme song seems like a bunch of nonsense. The second season sounds more serious. And that's what my baffling the fuck out of me is. Is like, the second season acts completely different from the first, third, and fourth season. Just the vibe of it, because it feels like it's back in the Stone Age. But however, all the characters act like they're complete selves, except for some of the characters that don't even do. Like, there's this one character that's the youngest sister's friend, who is a boy. He has to dress up like a girl just to be there. But for some odd reason, some characters in season 2 don't even get a shine. They just are there just for the sake of more bodies talking about it. However, when it comes to the second season plot of the episode, unlike season 1, season 2 has its focuses when the plot focuses on the season 2's plot in the beginning of the episode. The end of the episode, the plot is still the same. Unlike season 1, where the plot is all over the place. It's like completely different. It felt like it's like you're watching the first season. It's like you're watching Bubba Bo, and then the second season you're watching Yu Yu Hakusho that actually has a structure of every episode. That's the whole problem with it. I don't understand why they did that, because in the third season, it's completely fucking different from the last two seasons. Well, sort of. The third season has the structure is broken up into 3 sections. What do I mean by that? Well, the first season has the intro in the beginning, and then the whole entire episode ends. The second season has the same thing. However, there are some episodes in season 2 where there's more stuff at the ending theme song of the episode. So that's the main gist of that. The third season, however, is broken up into 3 sections. You have a 5 to 6 minute scene where what they're doing in the anime. Then the opening theme song hits. Then the main bulk of it happens, and then the outro hits, and then there's another scene at the end after the intro. So at the beginning and at the end of the intro and outro, there are 2 scenes. You have the anime play twice. So that's the confusing part. The fourth season is, I'm going to explain it to you in the fourth season, because the fourth season has a 1 to 2 minute thing, and then the anime intro hits, and then the whole rest of the anime plays and then the episode end at the end of the intro. So I feel like that every season structured is differently. And it baffles the fuck out of me, to be honest with you. Now, season 3, it's just like the same thing. However, when it comes to the 2 characters that got introduced in the second season, the nurse comes is only in the first half of the third season, and then she shows up at the very end of the fourth season. She's nowhere. She's nowhere in the second. She's nowhere to be seen in the second half, and she's nowhere in the fourth season except for the final episode of the fourth season, which baffles the fuck out of me. Why would you establish a character in the second season where she just gets shafted? I understand the other character because they're neighbors and he moved in the second season, but you don't. But you don't just show her up in the third season and then just get rid of her in the second half of the third season. It makes no fucking sense. Also, the third season has a mix between unlike the structure wise when it comes to the anime's length of the what they're showing you. The main problem with this anime on the third season, however, it's a mix between the first season and the second season structure wise. What do I mean by that? Well, there's some episodes where they are, how do I say it? The structure of some of the episodes in the third season are structured just like the second season, meaning that the plot is at the beginning and then always at the end of the episode. However, when it comes to some of the episodes in the third season are just like the first season. It's just a bunch of fucking nonsense. It makes no sense. So that's the main gist of it. Now there's two OVAs at the end of the third, and then at the end of the third season. So you want to watch the OVAs after you end the third season, and then the fourth season hits, and the fourth season is just plain fucking weird. Like one of the scenes, one of the episodes, like some of the main characters don't even show up at half of the episode. Like the fourth season, I feel like that it just gets like the oldest sister that goes to the high school, the oldest sister, she's nowhere to be seen in the pretty much the whole entire fourth season. She's just there. It focuses on the middle school sister and the elementary school sister because they do the more nonsense than everyone else. So yeah, that's the main gist of that. But the only problem I have with it is the fact that there's one episode in the fourth season just where they watch a TV show that hypnotizes you, which is pretty fucking obvious on to eat veggie sticks, which what the fuck. And it just baffles the fuck out of me. And everyone gets everyone gets like fucking brainwashed by eating veggie sticks. And it's just plain fucking, it's pretty fucking obvious that they're getting hypnotized because the thing that's waving a fucking coin and it looks like a fucking pumpkin head and I don't understand this anime. It just makes no fucking sense. It's just like Lucky Star. However, when it comes to the side characters, they introduce more side characters in season 2, 3, and 4. And if they're not in the anime in themselves, unlike in the first season where every character looks like a shadow and their face and body and arms are all blacked out. In the second, third, and fourth season, they don't do that. The animation is a little bit better. So that's the main gist of that. Now the four theme songs, the first, third, and fourth theme song sound exactly alike. In the opening, the first theme song is fucking banger. I love it to death. And it's awesome. The second season's intro is completely different vibes, and you can tell by it because how it's different. Like the phone's different. Like everything is different in that anime. The other thing that is completely baffles the fuck out of me is the main trio, which the middle school sister, the second oldest sister, and the youngest sister. The youngest sister has a stick where she throws the teddy bear at her second oldest sister because she's being a dumbass, and she calls her an idiot and a moron multiple times. However, she has, how do I say it? She does it less and less throughout the anime. Like season 3, she barely doesn't. Season 4, she doesn't do it. But usually in season 1, season 2 is where she throws the teddy bear a lot. So yeah. The other problem I have with this anime, they have 4 fucking Christmases, but yet they don't fucking age. Like, why the fuck are you still in school? Like, the high school sister should at least graduate by now. Like, what the fuck? It just baffles the fuck out of me. Or unless she's in fucking college and no one tells me about it. Now, as for the side characters are like, they get they have to go along with with all their plans. Pretty much the youngest sister and the second oldest youngest the second oldest sister, because of the fact that they are the main focal point of this anime of doing stupid shit, and they are just in it for the ride. Like, for example, there's this one character from the youngest sister's school that he wants to hang out with her. He thinks that she's cool. However, he does have a plot summary where he likes her. He has a crush on her oldest sister, which is the high school sister. But anyway, um, he can't go to her house because she doesn't like him. So the youngest, the second oldest sister decides to, why don't you dress up like a girl? She won't ever know. So he does that throughout the rest of the series, which baffles the fuck out of me because it's pretty fucking funny. So yeah, that's the main gist of that anime. There are a lot of side characters. Each character has their own guys that like them, and also guys that like her. So I won't spoil it, but this anime season structure. First season, Lucky Star. Second season, like Yu Yu Hakusho, when it comes to the plot, where the plot focuses on one episode. Third season is just broken up into 3 sections, and you don't know what you're going to get throughout each section. So that's the main gist of it. And the fourth season's just like, what the fuck am I watching? So, and at the end of the fourth season, there's an OVA, which is a beach episode. Turns into a fucking episode where she's trying to do backflips on the monkey bars. And then, in the middle between that, between the beach scene and the fucking monkey bar scene, they have a bug that escapes by himself, and then yeah, so it's just confusing the fuck out of me. But anyway, as I was saying, which that OVA has its own issues because I feel like that some of the side characters don't show up that often. Like, for example, there's this one episode in like I think season 3 or 4 where one of the main characters talks to the hypnotized episode. I might call it the hypnotized episode. The second oldest sister talks to her youngest sister, and after they're done, she's nowhere in the rest of the episode. Which I'm like, okay, that's fine. Problem is, there's still half the episode still have to go on, and then they just decide to make a musical because there's like a bunch of musical pieces in this anime, which still baffles the fuck out of me. I'm like, why are you singing? Why the fuck do I care? And one of the characters, who is the captain of the volleyball team, has a crush on the high school sister, but he is too fucking weird, and the high school sister's friends do not want him close to her because he's a weirdo, and the fact he likes to take off his shirt off everywhere he fucking goes. He also pretends to be. He has a good imagination because he pretends to cook. He pretends to be this. He also imagines him and her having dinner together with her younger sisters, which is pretty fucking funny because the younger sisters act like a bunch of younger sisters. But that's my gist of this anime. I'm gonna give this anime a 7 out of 10. I had to talk a lot because there's a lot of stuff that I need to talk about. I'm giving it a 7 because the comedy's good. All the theme songs were good or okay. I just never liked the second season because the second season just felt different to me, and the fact that that's the main gist of it. So, what you guys thought? This anime ran from 2007 or 8 to 2013, so it's in the category of where Lucky Star came in the play, or Pony Pony Dash for that matter. So yeah, I hope you guys have a nice positive day. Take care and always stay positive. Sorry, this anime review is a lot longer than usual, but I had to say a lot, especially when it comes to the second season. Like, why the fuck would you change the fucking phone completely into a phone that? Because look, I'm gonna say this to you right now. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because the first season you have a cord phone like your normal phone in the late 2000s, right? That's what you see in the phone back in the late 2000s. You have a cord phone, you pick it up, and you call that. However, in the second season, they decide you have to put your finger through a hole, and then you're supposed to spin it, and then you have to call this person. And the phone looks completely different. But in the third season, it's right back to normal. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that is so fucking ridiculous. But I'm giving this anime a 7 because it's fun and it's funny and it's also pretty good. I hope you guys have a nice positive day and always stay positive. I know this anime review is a lot longer, but I had a lot to say about this anime, especially when it comes to this season. So stay positive. Hope you guys have a nice positive day. Woohoo!